Jeopardy!
Alright, I'm going to try once again to start a new run of Jeopardy on the iPad. The last few times I've tried to start a run on camera have not been successful, but we'll see if that changes this time. Categories for the Jeopardy round are Rosebud, Movie Night, night in quotation marks, The Pearl, Potpourri, Snakes, and H2O Music. Let's start with Movie Night for 200. Wilfred Rambo played Paul McCartney's granddad in A Clean Old Man in this 1964 film. What is Tender as the Night? No. A Hard Day's Night. David Strathairn played Miss Edward R. Murrow in this 2005 film. I don't know. Good Night and Good Luck. 1967 drama in which they called Rod Steiger Sheriff Gillespie and Sidney Poitier Mr. Tibbs. Oh shit, I went too fast. I don't even know what the correct response was now. Vampires appear when the sun sets for a month in Alaska in this 2007 film based on a graphic novel. What is 28 Nights Later? No. I'm starting off on the wrong foot. 30 Days of Night. Joaquin Phoenix hides that he's from a family full of cops, including brother Mark Wahlberg in this drama. And it was We Own the Night. The Pearl for 200. In early China, cultured pearls were created by placing a lead object shaped like this religious figure into a mussel. Who's Confucius? No? Oh my god. Buddha. It's the substance a mollusk secretes to create a pearl. Nacre. Nacre, however you say that. A knotted strand of this material is the traditional cord on which pearls are strung. Please let it be silk. Thank you. Rosebud 200. Appropriately, iceberg roses are this color. What is white? Rosebud for 400. This type of rose smells like a certain brewed beverage, hence its name. What is it? Tea rose? Pearl 800. The Peregrina is a famous pearl bought by this man in 1969 and given to Elizabeth Taylor. Richard Burton. Rosebud 600. Call Orville Redenbacher. There are roses called this and gourmet this. Popcorn. Potpourri for 200. A special flower for April. It can be oxeye or Shasta. What is the tulip? No. In the hole again. The daisy. Contrary to its name, this yellow mustard brand introduced in 1904 is American. What is French's? There we go. Now I'm out of the hole. Potpourri 600. It's the capital of New Zealand. What is Wellington? Potpourri 800. Boston Red Sox fans know this slugger as the Splendid Splinter. Ted Williams. Potpourri 1000. A G.I. Joe introduced in 2000 is supposed to be one of these Native Americans who were code talkers in World War II. A Navajo. Pearl for 1000. This adjective for pearls of irregular shape also describes artists such as Hyacinthe Rigwell. What is Baroque? Alright, Snakes 200. This Egyptian queen didn't make an asp of herself, but she did use an asp snake to kill herself in 30 BC. Who is Cleopatra? Snakes for 4. The timber species of this American pit viper's of these American pit vipers are found in 27 states. Not cobras, rattlesnakes. Let's try HTO music for 200. On the charts in the 60s, this followed Buffalo and Dusty. What is Springfield? H2O music for 4. With 1998's Hard to Swallow, this white guy from Miami tried to recapture his gangster rap success. Vanilla Ice. Rosebud 800. The rose known as Madame Ferdinand Jamin became more popular in the US when it was renamed American This. Beauty. Fabric name for roses like the Celsiana, which has petals that look like crumpled silk. A damask rose. How about HTO music for 6? One group founded this bluesman's Rollin' Stone tune in 1950, inspiration enough for a band name. Muddy Waters. Keith Emerson and Carl Palmer were in a classic rock band with a man whose last name was this. Lake. Snakes for 6. The eastern species of this is encircled with broad red and black bands separated by narrow yellow ones. What is the coral snake? Snakes 800. Answer, the Daily Double. Apyogishana, the scientific name of this royal venomous snake, means that it eats other snakes. What is the king cobra? Snakes for 1,000. With a top speed of about 12 miles per hour, this deadly African snake is said to be the world's fastest serpent. The black mamba. Katrina the Scanich fronted this 1980s band. The Waves. And that's the end of the Jeopardy round. I have 2,400, Isis has 1,000, and Betty has 600. And our categories for the double Jeopardy round are the 5-year plan, literary sequels, world history, American lit, women of the world, and finally, double saint names. The Associated Press's Edward Kennedy was fired for prematurely reporting this event of May 1945. What is Japan's surrender? Nope. Germany's surrender. A January 9th, 1905 march and massacre in this country started a revolutionary era, a year, a taste of things to come. Russia. The despotic Ferdinand, restored to the throne in Naples in 1815, declared himself king of the two these. Sicilies. 1,600, and there's one of the daily doubles. Only going for 100. In a 1985 victory for Margaret Thatcher, these workers went back to work after a strike of nearly a year. The coal miners. The Restaurant at the End of the Universe was one of Douglas Adams' sequels to this novel. What is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Literary sequels 800. My Career Goes Bung was Ozzy Offord Miles Franklin's sequel to this novel. My Brilliant Career. American Lit for 4. This sovereign epic swept across the nation as the best-selling fiction book of 1936 and 1937. What has Gone with the Wind? 5-year plan 2000. In 2005, an ex-Klan member was found guilty in the deaths 41 years before of free civil rights workers in this state. Alabama. Nope. Mississippi. American Lit 800. In a popular short story, this famed orator saves a farmer who sold his soul to the devil. Who is Daniel Webster? American Lit 12. In a Whitman poem in memory of Abraham Lincoln, it's the title that precedes Our Fearful Trip is Done. Oh, Captain, My Captain. American Lit 16. Governor Willie Stark in this Robert Penn Warren novel is said to have modeled after Huey Long. All the King's Men. Yep. This Melville novel is subtitled A Narrative of Adventures in the South Seas. What is Billy Budd? No. I'm down to 1600. Omo. Ships he captained included the Alfred, the Ranger, and the Bonhomme Richard. Who is John Paul Jones. Women of the World for 4. In an email that surfaced after her murder, she said if anything happened to her, President Musharraf was responsible. Corazon Aquino? No. Benazir Bhutto. Only religious music was broadcast on the radio for 2 weeks after her July 26, 1952 death in Buenos Aires. And that was Eva Perón. After her coffee plantation failed, this author got out of Africa and returned to Denmark. Who is Isaac Denison? Alright. Literary sequels 12. In 1959, Grace Metalius returned to this town, hoping to cash in on the success of her earlier novel. Peyton Place. The 843 Treaty of Verdun divided his empire. Grandson Louis II received lands east of the Rhine River. Who is Charlemagne? World History 800. Around 4,500 years ago, the Bronze Age Minoan civilization emerged on this Mediterranean island. Crete. The Glorious Revolution of 1688 brought this Dutchman to power as King of England, Scotland, and Ireland. William of Orange. In the 5th century BC, this Greek historian wrote that it took 100,000 men 20 years to complete the Great Pyramid. Herodotus, yep. Got a close game right now. And there's the other daily double. Only going for 100. It's been estimated that this Grand Inquisitor put to death about 2,000 people during his term of office, from 1483 to 1498. Thomas de Torquemada, yep. Before opening her own schools, she had her own methods of teaching anthropology at the University of Rome. Maria Montessori. In the 1980s, the South African singer and political activist collected with Paul Simon, joining him on his Graceland tour. Who is Miriam Makeba? Literary sequels for 16. Of Time and the River was a sequel to Look Homeward Angel. Thomas Wolfe. Myron was the sequel to his Myra Breckenridge. Gore Vidal. Flemish painter responsible for the Judgment of Paris. Michael Peter Ancher. Nope. Paul Rubens. He started the American Fur Company in 1808. John Jacob Astor. He bought a copy of The Catcher in the Rye before his date with infamy for New York City's Dakota in 1980. Who is James Earl Ray? Nope. Down to 4,000. Mark David Chapman. He began the Master of Ballantrae in 1887 before sailing off with his family to the South Seas. Robert Louis Stevenson. Alright, final Jeopardy time, and our category is Posthumous Books. Alright. Edited by son Christopher, The Children of Huron is a tale of Middle-earth's first age by this man. Who is C.S. Lewis? No. Well, it was Lewis. No, it wasn't Lewis Carroll. So once again, I cannot start a run for this. My God. Really starting to get annoyed with this game now.